What is up YouTube, and welcome to this American Gods Season 3 Episode 8 video. This was a pretty fun entry and may contain one of my favourite moments of the series thus far, and introduces one of my favourite character actors in hopefully more than just a bit part. Now, if you enjoyed the video, then please do drop a like down below and subscribe with notifications on to never miss a video. We open in 1952 as a man rushes into a hotel being chased by the police. He asks for help as he's done nothing wrong and is given sanctuary by the receptionist, who later turns out to be the owner. It turns out that he was tricked into outing himself as gay by a police officer in an entrapment situation. And considering it was incredibly taboo and in many cases illegal back then, the police are hunting him down to arrest him. However, we learn that Jimmy, the officer who tricked him, was a closeted homosexual who got with the receptionist back when they were in high school. The receptionist is trans and convinces the police officers to leave. We learn that the man was Tua Shen. I probably pronounced that wrong, I do apologise. It was the rabbit god that manages love and sex between homosexuals. He was a man named Hu that fell in love with an imperial inspector, but the love was not reciprocated and was beaten to death, and in the legend was sent to be a god by the underworld, as his death was a crime of love. A temple was erected in honor, and in the show he came to America and he then blesses the hotel as a safe haven for their kind, and I really like this coming to America scene. It was a really good change from the usual war and battle intros that we've had thus far, but hey, they're pretty cool too. In the present, we have Salim and Laura, who continue their rip-roaring rampage of revenge against Mr. Wednesday, and they arrive at the Peacock Hotel looking for Liam Doyle, a leprechaun who will help her get Odin's spear from Sweeney's horde. We meet the owner as they get a room, as they can't use the bar otherwise, as there is a party going on, and it is a private party, as Salim catches the eye of a bellboy. I really like this story for Salim, as he shags the simp out of himself and really discovers himself and gains more confidence. We catch up with Tyr, who is with Shadow, and he poisons Shadow to knock him out as a poor guy comes over to help and gets his throat ripped out. I always find it funny when the antagonist is like, "Oh, why did you come over? I wish you'd not." Quite like the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now, Tyr is a great villain, and it's a shame as a full season long villain in the form of Tyr would have been superb if they focused on that story. But the show has so much to tell, we don't get that. But back with Salim and Laura, Salim is just chilling on a vibrating bed, which, to be honest, I don't understand. That and waterbeds, just give me a mattress, you know. But Laura meets Liam Doyle, played by the actor who played Ramsay Bolton, and yes, he was also in that Inhumans TV show. You can check it out on Disney+, but to be honest, I would really suggest go and check out Mr. Sunday Movie's breakdown of the whole show on their Caravan of Garbage, because it's a lot more entertaining than watching like 8 hours of the awful TV show. Now, he thought Laura was dead, as we learn that, well, he was originally approached to kill Laura Moon by Odin, only to turn it down, and he won't help her or be party to violence, especially as she wants to go with him. We also had one of the worst storylines of this show, and to be honest, of the whole season, as I'm not a fan of Tech Boy's kind of glitching, as he's presented a VR headset and initially refuses to wear it, but he needs Artifact 1 to reset himself. Yeah, it's something which I can't really get behind, and the new gods I don't really care about, to be honest, outside of Mr. World. But we later learn that, well, this is his subconscious that he speaks to in the form of Bilquis, and I love the actress bringing a different type of character here, and his subconscious tells him to accept his emotions and not bottle them up, as he then escapes. Yeah, it's a bit lame, as Bilquis only made him kind of accept his emotions, and that's why he's glitching. It's just one of the weakest stories, but unfortunately it's going to be the most important one moving on, as he's integral to the Shard app. Now Laura goes back to Liam and explains that Sweeney gave her his coin as an apology for killing her, and Liam agrees to go to the Horde only if he can have the coin after his payment, as he's seemingly lost his. I would have loved a whole episode exploring his and this mythology more, as one of my favourite episodes of the show was Sweeney's true backstory, and Celtic legend and myth is kind of largely ignored by film and TV, and I would love a real sweeping epic, but hey, that's just pie in the sky. However, initially, she does refuse as she can't go with him, but after a talk with Salim and how she needs to accept that Sweeney is gone and hand over the coin, he completes the task, but much against her better judgment, she agrees, and Liam goes into the Horde solo as we finally catch up with Shadow as he is trapped in the Wolf's Den roadside attraction, and we learn why he has been killing Odin's followers and sort of setting them up to fail. Tyr used to be the leader of the Norse pantheon until Loki birthed Fenrir, the legendary wolf that would destroy everything. He tied Fenrir up until Odin wanted to prove his might, and Fenrir and Tyr had a moment as Tyr lost his hand to the Great Wolf. In some legend, Odin would fight Fenrir during Ragnarok, the end of all things, and Odin's son Vidnar would avenge his father. Pretty metal, huh? And boy, that would make a sick show all of its own. Again, I've mentioned this before, but I highly suggest those of you with PlayStation 4s to give God of War a go on there, as it is a stunning take on Norse mythology. Tyr became forgotten and wants revenge and justice for what Odin did in usurping Tyr's place as the leader of all of the Norse gods. However, we cut to this to see Salim go to a party which turns out to be an orgy, and I really feel like this scene went on forever. Yeah, it wasn't my bag. I love the sentiment that Salim is living his life and becoming who he is, and regardless of whoever's involved in a sex scene, I'm not really interested in them, to be honest, but him taking charge of the bellboy there shows that he is now very confident. Mr. Wednesday arrives at the roadside attraction to save his son and offers himself to Tyr as they duel in the old way, and boy was this a sick scene. The costumes and the fight looked amazing, and sometimes this show really brings it with the budget and production. They fight as Odin is disarmed, only for Shadow to intervene as Odin takes advantage and kills Tyr. Major props to the actor as the body is burned, and he was a superb portrayal of a largely forgotten Norse god, and I love this arc, and I really feel like the season has found itself again in these last few episodes. Now, personally, I think this whole addition to the story is going to explain and really add gravitas to the reveal of Mr. World. Book readers, you know what I'm talking about. Now, Shadow's work here is done as Odin bugs off and Shadow can live his life once more, except he decides to go to Florida after being called there by moving people in the poster, and I expect this is the Ocean calling him there once more, as I expect we will find some more info, hopefully, on what is going on with the other. And, well, mythology, gods, and history are awash with stories of two halves being one. Think yin and yang, the legend of the two wolves, and even history with Romulus and Remus. But I expect this might be the other half of his soul, and he's destined to go off and lead all of the gods. After sulking with Salim too, Laura says that, well, she wants Salim to stay safe as she hasn't got the spear because she believes that Liam has gone. And, well, Salim wants to actually live his life free, and, well, he's no longer depressed about the Jin, and, well, he agrees to go off with her as, well, Liam hasn't returned, except he does, and he's shocked by Sweeney's horde, and there was a harpy in there, and, well, he seems incredulous that it is Odin's spear that he was sent to retrieve. From the trailer next week, it seems Liam is sticking around, and I love this actor. If you haven't seen Misfits, please, for the love of God, go and check it out. And I think that we're going to be finally kicking things off with 2 episodes left. Lakeside's story will be coming to an end, and, yes, it has dragged on a bit, but we know what comes after that, as it leads to a very cool thing at the World Tree. But I like this episode, and I think that the middling kind of episodes 4, 5, and 6 kind of didn't really go anywhere. The Demeter story derailed it, but we're back here. So if you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on. And I am going to have a Pacific Rim The Black video up tomorrow. And that show was really cool. So I'll see you soon. And tomorrow at 10 PM GMT for my Pacific Rim The Black breakdown. I'll see you soon and goodbye.